You would program in where you want to go. There would be no stops, and it would take you directly to your destination. A complete system could be built in less time than it would take just to finish the one line from Hollywood to Santa Monica in the subway. You could probably build most of it for the cost of that one line and build it in half the time. I think that's a great creative solution, and I will want a pilot line that goes from Sherman Oaks to Westwood to Century City as the first trial of this proposal.
Thank you.
Okay. Robert Salter. And David, you'll be answering this one first. Right here.
Thank you.
Shh. Mr. Gersten.
I think you'll find this a unique question.
Speak into the microphone.
I think you'll find this a unique question. With the census coming, followed by a reapportionment, how much effort would you make to move the CD5 boundary north to Mulholland, away from that different world?
Good question. David?
Now, first of all, I want to just quickly touch on the 2nd District. When you elect me on July 1st and I take office, I promise you, we will have a special election out there so that the 2nd District and the 5th can have a voice and the Valley can have a voice. More importantly, I'm going to work with you when redistricting comes, and I'm hoping that you'll want to keep me. But if the feeling is that we need to have a complete additional Valley seat, Richard actually tried to do this 10 years ago for this community to give you 6 Valley seats, and I will work as always with this community to make sure that it is represented to the fullest. But I'm still hoping that you're going to want to keep me, Robert.
Okay. Paul?
Well, this question's been asked before, and I'll do whatever the neighborhood wants, frankly. But I think it might be better off having a representative that lives partly and represents partly the Valley and partly the West Side, if you provide the kind of representation that you would want in the Valley. And you have more representatives. It's a question of whether you actually do the job and represent the Valley or not, or just don't care about it. Now, I've represented a district where I was partly on the West Side and partly in the Valley, and I've never heard anyone say, Paul Koretz, he was never out in the Valley, never came to SOHA meetings, he was really a lousy representative. I think it was quite the opposite. And I'll be that kind of representative on the council, and I don't think you want to get rid of me.
Thank you. Jeff Berg. And then after Jeff Berg, Sidonia Lax. And then after Sidonia, Ira Sherman. I hope I didn't kill your name. Come on down, Jeff. And Paul, you're going to answer first. You got to sit in the chair. You can't stand up. Oh, you want your question?
A little nervous. Hi, Paul. Hi. My question is essentially has to do with what your political ambitions are. Do you intend to serve for 12 years? Would you consider a run for another office other than in your last year in Los Angeles? We certainly know that it's basically very difficult to be an incumbent as a council member. What are your ambitions?
Well, I can tell you my plan is, I've been in office for 18 years already. I don't need to do this indefinitely. The fact is, after 12 years, I'll be 65. I think I can start at that point to do something normal. So I would like to spend 12 years, come in with an agenda, represent the neighborhood, try to see a transit system well developed, see this become a strong environmental city, do all the right things, and then be done. There's no reason for me to plan on going anywhere else. This is it for me, and frankly, if I ever run for anything else in the next 12 years after I'm elected, I want you all to oppose me, because I'm promising you, I don't want to do anything else. I'm on camera. I'm going to be here for 12 years.
Jeff, you and I have had a chance to speak, and one of the reasons I'm running for the city council is I love finding the win-win, and I love the instant gratification of being able to fix somebody's pothole, get their tree trimmed, get a park and ride going, and reducing traffic, making better quality of life. The other part of it is something that a few people know here, is that I married the most amazing woman in the world. I had a chance to, and all of you have seen my little boy running around here over the last 6 months. I had many offers before I got in this race to run for state assembly, and that, obviously I would be the front runner in it, but I can't find a way to leave 4 days a week. I don't know how, Paul, how you did it, but I simply was
Wasn't easy.
broken-hearted all the time. So this is it for me. I'm going to serve my 12 years, do the best job, and make sure that these people in this room are proud of me and what I've done, and that'll be it. I'll go up and just practice law and be mediator.
Thank you.
Okay, Sidonia Lax.
I did write that it was created, right?
You did what?
I know that it was something you created. About a year ago, we had problem with the budget in the city. And it was discussed back and forth. And Councilman Zine stood up, enumerating many, many things that do not exist anymore in this figure. 70% of our budget is locked. We cannot touch it. I have checked today. Until today, a whole year went by, nothing was done. Will you gentlemen rush it through? Because we need this money, and it's locked up.
One of the things that I think differentiates both of us, and I want to be very clear here, Paul, I'm not anti-labor. You know that. But one of the problems that the city is facing is that we have some very powerful unions here. And it's making it difficult for us to make some of the adjustments that we need to. And one of the reasons I think I'll be able to make some of these moves, I know Paul is just because he's supported by labor, that they'll listen to him better. But the truth is, we have to go ahead and cut some of the waste and have attrition. We're going to have to do more with less. But here's also something else I want to leave each of you with here. The City of LA has 35% more revenue since 2005. Last year we raised taxes $400 million, and I submit to a lot of you, it was, thank you.
Good? Okay. Time's up. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Ty claims that I'm too tied into labor, but when we both interviewed with the SEIU, he was the strongest candidate for labor. He said, unlike Paul, I'm not just a supporter of labor, I am labor. So he made the strongest attempt to get them, but now that he doesn't have them, now he's making that differentiation, which I think is questionable. The fact is, I am close to labor. I grew up in a labor family. I was the chair of the labor committee in the assembly. I have a great relationship with them. If anyone's going to get them to be cooperative in this time where we need to ask them to go back and revisit and reopen a contract that we can't make them do, but they should do out of concern for the city, it's going to be me that can talk to them and make it happen.
Thank you. Ira Crewman? No? There you go. Sorry.
Roman, like
Sorry.
a Roman with a CH in front of it.
I'll never forget that.
This is to both of you. If you double the tariffs on Ventura Boulevard parking meters, how will you help business from closing up? Because it's too expensive to park.
Great question.
Right. Who's first? Am I first on this?
You are first.
Well, I didn't mention it this time, but I was on the West Hollywood City Council years ago for 13 years and also served as mayor in a city that we put in terrific infrastructure, which I'll talk about another time if I have a chance. But one of the things the council, I think, made a big mistake on is we were too tough on parking. And we actually had 1 year where our parking fines and forfeitures went up $1 million and our sales tax revenue went down $1 million. And my colleagues on the council thought that was a break even, but it certainly wasn't. We were losing a lot of business because we were scaring people off. It's a huge mistake. Frankly, we both think it's a huge mistake, so this is an easy issue. I don't know why the council did it, and with no notice to anyone in the city, and if there's any way to turn it around, we should do it.
And I think Paul is right. We both agree here. It's interesting. I was downtown and between meetings, and I parked at a meter $4.